We're going to take a look at the Intelligent Solution Factory from Iridius that implements and addresses two hard problems. One is around a gap in the AI stack around compliance, and the other is around how you build enterprise-grade agentic solutions. Your factory begins by configuring the enterprise compliance requirements for your desired solution. On the left, you have several compliance standards and regulations that have already been ingested into the factory. Let's take a look at one of them. This standard has a lot of different requirements, and the system needs to ingest those into an actionable data structure that allows it to generate structured rules. Then all these rules are implemented together in one semantic knowledge graph database. Individual agents can now drill down to the exact piece of information they need at the node level, and it gives the factory the key context about how to design, implement, and monitor that particular requirement. In addition, an enterprise may have tens of thousands of standard operating procedures or SOPs, and you can ingest all these SOPs and identify which standards and regulations they apply to. For each solution you build, you can choose to follow the relevant regulation exactly, or you can prioritize the SOP, and at each step, decisions you make are recorded into an immutable ledger. With all this information in the semantic graph, the factory can also identify any of your SOPs that have conflicts or where gaps exist. Now let's talk about how solutions are built. The factory takes your existing artifacts, from videos to napkin sketches to specifications, and literally generates what it believes is the solution that you want from those existing artifacts. The factory does some analysis to understand what type of solution you want to build so that it knows the context. And then the factory generates an executive summary that you can share with your stakeholders to get their feedback. As the factory analyzed your artifacts, it also identified all the different requirements that you have around compliance. On step 4, the factory generates the individual agents that are needed for your solution or identifies existing agents from the agentic library, which drives reuse across your organization. And next, the factory can add in connectors for the back-end systems and applications that you're going to need to integrate with, whether that's SAP, ServiceNow, or GitHub. Agents are doing that implementation for you rather than you handcrafting them every single time, saving you time and money. Now the factory can generate the actual solution architecture for your solution in BPML. This is an editable architecture that represents what we're going to build in the next step. The factory can now assemble and build your solution. During this process, the factory is automatically completing a series of tests from unit and solution tests to security, compliance, performance, and even ROI. In step 8, the factory goes through compliance validation to identify the human-led compliance steps that you're going to need to take, where the factory will pre-populate as much of the information as it can. The factory also ensures it publishes transparency cards for every single agent and group of agents that you've implemented in your system. Finally, the factory pre-flight verification checklist ensures everything's okay before the factory deploys your solution into your user acceptance testing environment. The factory cannot deploy into production because compliance steps are still required at this stage. Here is the working application that the factory has just built and deployed into user acceptance testing for you. This solution represents an insulin production line that is being monitored by collections of agents collaborating together to ensure provenance and compliance at every single step. You can also double-check the compliance dashboard to ensure that the solution you're running is in real-time compliance. The bottom line with the Intelligent Solution Factory from Iridius is that you built your solution. It's innovation in days, not months.